What's going on? Happy Monday, everybody. This is weird. I can't even see how many people I have on the live. Whatever. Well, happy Monday. If you are watching for your first time, thank you for tuning in. Please hit the follow button. And if you are a regular viewer, thank you for coming back. And tell me what questions you got. Give myself a couple minutes coming in here. Ooh. Give y'all a couple minutes to get in here. No, okay. This TikTok thing is tripping. How y'all doing today? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all ask me any questions y'all have, and then I'll run down what I have to run down of what's been going on. I was not here last week. I had no internet. Y'all know I'll be having internet issues, so I had no internet, so I wasn't able to come on here. So, hey, Alabama, we talking about whatever y'all want to talk about. I got a couple things I'm going to go over, but as always, I'm basically here to answer whatever questions y'all have. Let me see, because I do got some notes. I got a couple things. Let me get to them. But I'm going to see what questions y'all have. So if y'all have any questions, then we can go over it. Okay? They do not have any money, anything. There's no money out right now. Unfortunately, y'all are going to find that right now, the only thing that everybody's only probably going to be talking about is the election and not much else. Hey, Miss Loretta. I have to do mine in order to put. Okay, so Claire has a question. It says, hi, if I use you to prepare my bankruptcy petition, what do I have to do in order to put in the automatic stay? Okay, so I'll answer your question. So thank you for the question, Claire. Anybody on YouTube, if it's your first time, please follow, like, and subscribe. And if y'all did not know, I do have a YouTube channel. Please go and watch some of my videos. I promise you're going to learn a lot. So if I were to do your bankruptcy petition, if y'all did not know, I am a bankruptcy petition preparer. So I do fill out your paperwork if you are considering filing for bankruptcy. And let me tell you, a ton of people are doing it. So don't feel any kind of way. As soon as you file your bankruptcy petition, there is something called an automatic stay, which means every creditor that is coming after you has to stop. That means evictions, repossessions, creditors calling your phone, foreclosures on your house, anything. So that is called the automatic stay, and it does not happen until you actually file and get a case number. Once you get that case number, you can then call whoever you want and say, hey, stop taking this money out of my check. Stop doing this. I filed bankruptcy. I have an automatic stay. That's not Shamika saying that. That is the actual law. Okay. So that's exactly how we would do it. All right. Thank you for asking that question. Let me see. It says somebody asked me about that PPP. So let me just let y'all know there is no PPP. We'll probably never ever see that again. What you guys are referring to is the SBA EIDL loan, the EIDL loan. Because we've been hit with a lot of storms, we're in technically hurricane season until November. You're going to find that the SBA is going to still offer disaster loans. So if you want to apply for a disaster loan, let me just let y'all know it is not going to be easy like it was before. You're not going to be able to just put some numbers in there and think you're going to get a check, because that's not going to happen. You're going to have financials. You're going to have an actual business, and your credit is going to have to be satisfactory in order for them to give you any money. So PPP is a rumor, but the SBA EIDL loan is true. But if you're going to apply, make sure you are ready. Okay. Nikki says, good evening. My loans are now in forbearance. Is this the time to try and get them removed? Are you talking about student loans? Somebody sent me a message today, so I'm glad we're actually talking about student loans really quick. If y'all haven't caught me, in the past 2 weeks, I just told you guys that in July, a federal court said no to the Biden administration as far as it goes with your IDR and or SAVE program that a lot of you guys enrolled your student loans in. So if you're in that income driven repayment, or if you're in the SAVE, they are the same exact things. They just got different acronyms. If you are enrolled in any of those, you do not have to make your loan payments. As a matter of fact, you should be able to log into your student loan servicer page right now, and you will see on the front page, somebody sent it to me. If not, I will send it to you. It's on the Department of Education's page. It's letting you know that you don't make no payments. Your student loans are in forbearance again until the Department of Education figures out what your new payment is going to be. Here is something that I recommend that you guys do instead of sitting around waiting. No, I'm not telling you to go out and make your payments, but I am suggesting that you look into taking your loans out of the IDR Save program and moving it into another program. Why? Because the IDR program is gone. Even if the Democrats win in November, we do not know still if it's going to pass, which means you may just have your loan stuck in a plan that you don't need, and then the government will at some point probably make a decision for you where to put them. They have the old traditional ones they had, the payee, the repayee, ICR and IBR, income contingency repayment, income based repayment, and the repayee, I believe that goes based off of your income. If you have a lot of people in your household and you are at $0, you will still be at $0 payment, even if you switch. But I suggest you switch because this IDR Save program is gone. So right now your loans are just sitting somewhere and they don't need to be, okay? You can do what you wish, but I'm telling you, this is already what the Department of Education has thrown out on their website. They're already giving you other options to put your loans in other places. Stop waiting on them to do it for you. Do it yourself and take control of your stuff. You still don't make no payments, but put your loans where they should be so that nobody has to do that for you. Okay. All right. Let me see what else you're asking. The black farmers just got some money now. The Biden administration did give the black farmers some money, so they are probably going to be the only ones. If you are a black farmer by chance, please don't forget to go and look up those government grants. They are putting more and more of those out all the time. Y'all want money? That's the best way that some of y'all going to get this money, because some of y'all got businesses anyway, nonprofits anyway. Why not do something for the government and line your pockets with some money? Because right now, that's probably the only money y'all going to get anyway. I don't know if y'all seen, there was just a lady, they call her the Gucci Goddess. This just came out maybe 2 weeks ago. She lives in San Antonio, Texas. She is a government contractor. She pretended that she had a nonprofit that took care of kids in the local San Antonio area, and homegirl got $9 million, I believe, over a 6-year period. And she used them all to buy 30 houses. She bought hella Gucci bags, hella Gucci shoes. She bought everything under the sun except use the money for what she was supposed to. Now, I ain't telling nobody to do that, but I'm just letting you know, people get money and they don't do right, but they get money. Okay. So when I tell y'all to go and look at the government website for some of those grants, she did the same thing I'm telling y'all to do. Hopefully y'all do the right thing, but I'm letting you know money is out there. You just have to go and find it. Okay. All right. Claire said, I haven't filed last year's taxes yet, and I don't have my Kroger. So Claire, obviously you want to file bankruptcy. Let me let you know, if anybody wants to file bankruptcy, your last 3 tax returns have to have been filed. If you do not, or have not, or will not file taxes, you still need to have a letter from the IRS, and you can get it from your own web page, your own account within the IRS, letting the bankruptcy court know that you have not filed and you're not going to file. Okay. So if you are not going to file and you want to file bankruptcy, you either need to file, especially if you have W-2s. If you did not work, then you can just go and print a letter from your irs.gov account. You will have to create it, okay? But they have your information already stored on the website. Some of y'all just need to retrieve it. You can print out a letter for the year and it'll say you have not filed. Now, for you, Miss Claire, you are missing your W-2s. And this is really for anybody. A lot of y'all come to me and be like, I can't file taxes because I can't get in touch with the people from my job. IRS don't want to hear that. You know why? Because your employer already sent that information to the IRS. And guess where it is? It's in your profile on the irs.gov website. All you got to do is log in, create your account, go to wage and earning transcripts, and you will see who paid you, how much you got paid, how much came out in taxes, blase squaze. Print that out, give it to your tax person. You are done. So if Miss Claire, you didn't do it, that's where you can get it from. Hey, Miss Paula, still waiting to hear from you. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing all right. Okay. Let's see. Crown says, but this is all free info, including credit repair. You are exactly right. I do not charge to give out this information. As a matter of fact, you probably won't find anybody that's going to give you as thorough information as I do. So please drop the questions. Okay, we can talk about credit, bankruptcy, we can talk about finances. I'm about to continue going down what's in my my list of news. We can talk about student loans, whatever your heart's desire that you feel like you want to talk about, we can talk about it. It's not an issue. Okay. Let me see. So I wanted to let y'all know. Okay, so this, I already talked about this for Florida. I'll just mention it again. If you're in Florida and your driver's license is expired, or you're getting a brand new driver's license, they are changing the format. Remember, I told y'all there are a few states that it's very easy to pretend to be somebody else. I made a video 2 years ago letting you know that it is easy for any one of y'all to pretend to be me. All you got to do is know a couple bits of information about me. You can put your picture with all my information on the driver's license, the fake one, because Florida, Illinois, a couple other states, they have it where you are able to, there's a calculator that's able to figure out the driver's license number based off of your personal information. Let me tell y'all, I had a wife call me. She's divorcing from her husband, and she said, girl, I saw your video and I need help trying to find my husband's driver's license number. And I was like, honey, I don't do that. But all I'm going to say is, if y'all want the calculator website so that you can see for yourself, especially if you live in Florida. If you live in any state, I'll send it to you anyway, and you can see if your state follows that same format. They are changing that. Okay? They need to. All right. Let me see. What? Okay, because about Black farmers, it says, okay, so any other questions, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and drop those. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. The only thing you miss about the student loans is that they're in forbearance. You guys will not have to pay them. They are still trying to figure out how much you guys are going to owe. So if you have a payment coming up, baby, you can sit on that and put that money away for Christmas, okay? Because they are not going to make you pay right now, because they don't even know. And that's only if you consolidated your loans and put them in the SAVE or the IDR program, okay? That is not for everybody, all right? Let me see what y'all saying. What is the best way to get approved for a loan from a bank? I trust and respect your suggestion. Thank you very much. I am Living God. Well, the most important thing you got to do is, what is that credit looking like? Okay. First couple things y'all need to understand. There's banks and there's credit unions. Okay. Credit unions are way more forgiving. So if you have had bad experience with them, meaning you got a lot of overdrafts, you done been negative a couple times. Credit unions are one of the few banks I feel that are more forgiving and give you an opportunity to get yourself on track. But if that credit ain't right, they're not giving you nothing. Okay. That's the unfortunate part. What y'all are going to see is that it's going to be harder and harder to get money, to borrow money, because everybody's defaulting. I told y'all, this was 2 weeks ago. Banks are saying ain't nobody paying them back. Okay. So if people ain't paying credit cards back, they probably not going to pay loans back. And the crazy part about it is, with a loan or a credit card, it's all unsecured debt. So a bank is taking a big risk by loaning you money, knowing that if you don't pay, they can't pick it up. Not like your car or your house. They can retrieve those things. But loans and credit cards are going to be very difficult. So if your credit ain't right, or you have a bad history with your bank, one, I would like you guys to go to the bank that you are already dealing with. Okay. A lot of times they like to, look at that, sweating. A lot of times they like to give you money because they want to keep the relationship, because they know it's very easy for you to leave. But you also have to have your part done. Your credit needs to look decent. If you cannot get a loan from the bank, y'all know me, I be coming up with ways. One of those ways is, if you got a credit card, you get you a cash advance. But you could do a cash advance without actually doing a cash advance and paying that high interest rate. So If you have credit cards, you need to get money off their credit cards, bill yourself. Okay, they got apps on the phone. You ain't even got to have a real business at all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you the name. Invoice ASAP. Invoice ASAP. You can literally create an invoice, charge yourself, and you could bill yourself and then charge it to your credit card, and the money goes into your account. So basically you are doing a cash advance without doing a cash advance that's going to charge you 30 some odd percent interest. Okay, and if you're watching for the first time, please follow and check out my other videos, because your girl got good information. Okay, really, really, really do. Another thing you can do, now I'm not a big fan of people doing cash advances. Okay, not at all. But some of you that are responsible enough to pay them, if that's what you have to do, I completely understand that. You got to do what you got to do. Another thing, and I told y'all this is one way you can give yourself a little bit of grace in the event that you need to have some additional funds. Okay, we're not going to do this with our electric. We're not doing this with our water, because those, when they tell you they have a disconnect date, that is going to be disconnected. But if you have a credit card, you have a car loan, you have any revolving debt, especially the ones that report on your credit, if you need additional money, borrow it from yourself. Meaning, and listen to me close, I tell y'all this all the time, creditors do not report on your credit report that you are late until you hit a full 30 days late. So that means you have an additional 29 days to pay yourself back or pay that bill before they actually report it late. So if your bill is due on the 15th, but you need that money, especially this month, y'all know Labor Day coming up. Okay, I know I'm talking to some people. Labor Day is coming up. Some of y'all gonna want to party and ain't gonna have the money because it's a long stretch between now and the 1st. So what do? You say, you know what? My bill is not due. My bill is due on the 15th, but I need the money. So I have, and this is what you tell yourself, I have until the 14th or the 13th of next month to pay that bill before it shows up late on my credit. We don't care if our bill is late internally, because there's nobody they're going to tell. All they're going to do is call you and say, hey, you forgot to pay. You ain't even got to answer. But as long as you pay them before that full 30 days hits, baby, you ain't, who says I'm late? Because they have to prove it. And the only way they can prove it is by putting it on your credit report showing that you were 30 days late. So stop running out here sometimes and going out here and getting these high interest rate loans and borrowing money from people when you can do it from you can borrow from yourself. All you need is a calendar. Okay, keep the date in your phone by the time you have to pay that bill, so that you give yourself a little bit of grace. Okay, now I am nobody more special than anybody else, but let me tell y'all, when I know I can't pay something, I am not stressing and falling out. Now, if it's my electric and my water, I'm gonna do it. Okay, because I gotta see, I gotta watch this, you know what, and I gotta, I gotta be able to do that. But all that other stuff, baby, I'm not worried. Okay, they're gonna have to wait, and they're gonna have to catch me at my 29th day when I go and I pay that bill late. But who's to say it's late, because it ain't showing up late? Okay, so these are some ways that y'all can get money from yourself. Now, if you are a business owner, y'all know I be telling y'all to go ahead on and get that business credit, because you can get that business credit and borrow from yourself the same way I'm telling y'all to do this on the personal side. Okay. A lot of y'all have money, you just don't know that you have access to it. I also tell you, if you are struggling and you can't make it, baby, enroll in school, okay? Because they're going to cut you that check within 3 weeks. So at least you have something. And let me add, didn't I just say the student loans are in forbearance? So you basically can borrow money from our uncle. He ain't just my uncle, he y'all uncle too. Y'all can borrow money from your Uncle Sam for now, and you don't even got to pay him right now, okay? Thank you, Shay Inspire. Shay Inspire says she uses Square. I'm telling you, I know. Okay, I know. Make yourself an invoice on Invoice ASAP, and baby, bill yourself and swipe your own card and pay yourself some money, so y'all can stop going right here and getting these high interest rates loans and stop paying the cash advance fee. You just get charged whatever your regular transaction fee is from your credit card company. Okay. All right. So, okay, Claire Dane said profit and loss statements. Profit and loss statements, if you do not have them, Don't even waste your time. The SBA is not playing. Don't sit up there and send them no anything. That's what people were doing back when we were doing the SBA EIDL loan. People were sending anything up to get approved, and they was approving everybody because it was COVID. That's not happening right now, okay? What is a subsidized loan? A subsidized loan. Y'all may see subsidized loans. Anytime you see subsidized, that basically means that your uncle, not just my uncle, because I love him, he is our uncle, and our uncle is basically saying, I'm going to cut these payments for you, and you going to pay the rest. So, for example, if I said you owe me $150 a month, but Uncle Sam says we're going to give you a subsidy and they're going to pay $50, then you only have to pay $100. When you do USDA mortgages, I told y'all I don't like USDA mortgages, but if you happen to get a USDA mortgage or one of those rural mortgages, low income mortgages, a lot of times you will find that those mortgages comes with a subsidy where they will pay a certain amount. Basically what they'll do is they'll actually give you a let me see how I want to say it. I guess I can want to say subsidized. For example, if you buy a Habitat house, your house might be $84,000. Okay, your house is real cheap, but don't pay the mortgage and watch what happens. If you don't pay the mortgage and the government comes after you to sue you for not paying or to foreclose upon you in order now to keep that house, your mortgage is going to go up because you have now forfeited the subsidy that they have given you. And now in order to take your loan back, you now have to pay both. I told you all the time, anytime y'all get these government homes, these government programs, y'all need to make sure that they don't have a silent second mortgage. And that's exactly what Habitat House has. They have silent second mortgages, and you ain't gonna know it until you don't pay your mortgage, the first one. And then when you get that letter from the court, you're gonna be like, well, damn, how did I go from 84,000 to 130,000? Because they had a silent second mortgage that they didn't let you know about. That is a form of a subsidy. Also on your student loans, you have subsidized and unsubsidized loans. Those loans that are subsidized, you don't even have to pay the interest right now. They are letting you skip it. Pay us later. Those are the loans that are usually higher at the end of when you graduate school because interest has been accumulating. So subsidy sounds good and it can be good, but you need to see in what context it's being used because it could come back to bite you if you don't do your part. Okay. Paula, so if you want to invoice yourself to borrow money from yourself, a lot of y'all are filing bankruptcy, okay? And a lot of y'all filing bankruptcy. Y'all coming to me and y'all talking about, I can't pay my bills, but y'all still got credit cards with $3,000 and $4,000 on them. Now, I'm not telling anybody what to do, but what I'm going to say is, in the event that you need to use that money and you can't swipe that card, I'm going to give y'all an example. Before I filed bankruptcy, yes, not only am I a member, I'm the president, okay? But I had a military star card. I was in the military. Anybody know a military star card? You can only use those on a military base or at a military store. You can't just go into the mall and use this credit card. But, okay, there are some cases where, like in that situation, you just go and buy everything you're going to need. Okay, buy everything you need, and then people file bankruptcy. Now, if you have, let me see, which is one that you could do. All right, just say you got your regular Visa card, your regular MasterCard. You don't have nothing to buy. Okay, but you want to get this money off the card. Invoice ASAP. You can use Square. You can use any third-party merchant. Any third-party merchant. They will allow you, most of them you have to have a business. Invoice ASAP, you do not have to have a business. It is a free app on your phone. The rest of them, you have to actually have a business EIN number, all of that. But Invoice ASAP, create an invoice, email it to yourself. You will get the option to pay that invoice with your payment of choice. If it is your own payment, boom, now the money goes into your account. Now, I ain't trying to give y'all no slick ways to do things, but all I'm going to say is, and I'm going to tell you another thing, I use Invoice ASAP for. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. I lost my TikTok because my ass over here didn't charge my phone. Running my mouth. Hold on. Let me go on back live real quick. Y'all know I gotta have my YouTube. Y'all know I gotta let y'all see because that's where the money comes in at. Okay. So hold on a second. Before I get lost, let me charge this one up. Hold on, because I know they're gonna be mad. Sorry, y'all. I did not mean to lose y'all. Okay, so another thing you can use invoice ASAP for. This is a little secret. If any of y'all have to show that somebody has been paying you rent or have been paying you something, and you need to give them proof that they've paid, you could just use invoice ASAP. You can easily click the button to say that a person paid in cash, and boom, you have a real invoice that you created, of course. Now, I'm not saying you lying and telling the truth. That is not for me to determine, but I am letting you know if you do need to find a way to have an actual invoice so that people can see that you are making payments, you can use invoice ASAP. I'm sorry, y'all, my other phone died. Okay, I forgot to put it on the charger. My bad. Y'all know I get to talking and will forget. Okay, Miss Paula, I do not have a video, but you got my number, so you can call me and I will tell you how to do it. Period. Okay, that's not off. It says, do I help with business credit? I have seen that option on. Yeah, I do. So the reason I don't put business credit on my website is because a lot of people aren't ready for business credit. If you want to do any kind of credit stuff with me, we always have to start at your personal credit to make sure your personal credit is okay. Because if it's not, we are not going to get far when it comes to business credit. One thing that I am not going to do is I'm not going to set you up for failure. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you and tell you that you can get a whole lot of things when I know your credit is not going to allow it. Okay. If your credit is decent, and decent meaning at least, when I say decent for business credit, you at least got to give me a 600. We might be able to slide through with a 580, but at least a 600, and then we can start building. Okay. We can basically go from there so that you can start your own separate entity. I do highly, strongly suggest everybody have business credit simply because the way that the economy is going, you don't know when or if you're going to need funds or if you're going to have to file bankruptcy. And a lot of times you can fall back on your business credit and live off of it while your personal credit is being repaired. That is the problem. A lot of people are not preparing. Okay. And again, I'm sorry, y'all, that this dropped. Please share, like, all that good stuff so that other people can check out this video. I appreciate that. And you're exactly right, Crown. Not until everybody can do this for free. I didn't advertise a service, not at all. But let me tell you one thing. To be able to have someone you can ask questions, that's going to cost, okay? To be able to make sure that you're doing these things correctly, that's going to cost. So you were exactly right. You guys are free to go out and do whatever you want. But for those who've been with me every Monday, y'all know I'm not full of BS. Y'all know I'm going to tell y'all the truth, and I'm going to help y'all put some money in your pocket if I absolutely can, okay? If not, we're going to get rid of this debt that y'all carrying around here, okay? So somebody called me, and I don't know if I'm talking to somebody, but I'm just going to let y'all know because I do appreciate y'all reaching out to me. A lady called me the other day and said, I'm separating from my husband. We got 2 cars. He took both of them. I'm a co-signer on both cars. What can I do? One, to get a car. And I said, before we even get to the car, let me make sure you're a co-signer on a car that your husband has taken, which means on your credit, it is showing that you have a vehicle, co-signer or not. She said yes. So I simply told her, and I'm going to simply tell y'all the same thing because I know a lot of people don't talk about bankruptcy. I'm going to talk about it forever and ever and ever because that is exactly where this country is going. Businesses are doing it. Rich folks are doing it. Y'all are the ones that are not doing it who are struggling. But if you find yourself a co-signer and you do not want to be a co-signer any longer and your credit already messed up or your finances are already messed up, please know that you can file bankruptcy to get out of being a co-signer. Bankruptcy will eliminate your responsibility of being a co-signer on anything. Okay, so you co-sign for something, you want to get out of it, like this woman who's going through divorce with her husband. That's the quickest way. Okay, and if you smart, ladies, because I talk to a lot of you, A lot of y'all need to be doing y'all bankruptcy and y'all divorce around the same time so that y'all can come up off of these things that y'all did out of love, because we done all done it. And now you stuck. But I'm not trying to be divorced and still carrying on something I have with somebody else when I'm in a new relationship. Because as soon as that man don't pay that car note, they're coming after you because you're a co-signer. So if you want to be off of it and you already got a financial situation, boom, you're welcome. Okay, that's how you get it. The Cash App lawsuit, I did hear about Cash App lawsuit. It's actually not new. So thank you, Miss One. So I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. Y'all know how I am about class action lawsuits. Go to classaction.org, one of my favorites. A lot of y'all ask me which Cash App group I'm in on. Which lawsuit group I'm in, where we actually go and get those class action settlement checks. If y'all want, y'all know to go to shamikasaves.com. That is my website. Send me a message. I will send you the link to the group. Okay? Because I'm saying I'm not over here bragging or anything like that, but I will say I'm bringing in checks in the mail, not doing anything but signing up. What are you doing? Okay? Y'all know y'all shop at these places. Y'all know y'all done spent money at these places. Why y'all are not going and getting y'all piece of the pie? I don't care if it's $4 or $40. It is mine. Okay? And I want it. And I want it now. And I hope that you do too. Okay? So you can send me that message and I will send you the information to the group. If you want to consolidate all your bills without doing, it says I need to consolidate my bills without doing a HELOC. We'll have to talk about it. Okay? And that's what I would say. We can talk about it. See, some of y'all are rushing out to go to these debt consolidation companies that are saying that they're going to lower your monthly payments for you and all of those things. And I don't have anything against those companies. I personally just feel that if I'm going to get my life on track, I don't need to be waiting on a debt consolidation company to help me get my life on track when my credit is what I need now. And if you do a debt consolidation company, and I want y'all to hear me out, okay? If you do debt consolidation with any of them companies, Care One, the Christian they got so many of them, okay? What's going to happen is your credit is going to be trash until you have paid off the debt. So those debt consolidation companies, you're going to be in a 3 or 5 year plan. So that means your credit going to be messed up for 3 to 5 years, or 3 or 5 years, whichever plan you are on. And the plan is determined by how much debt you have. But get this, and we talked about this before too. I told y'all if you have a home, you have assets, you could do a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. That's also a 3 or 5 year plan. But get this, you have perfect credit, or damn near perfect credit, in less than 60 days. Now you can't go out and get credit. Okay, because you're in the Chapter 13. You're not supposed to get no credit. Let me make sure I say that. But you also can't get no credit when you're in these debt consolidation programs. So if I had to weigh which one I want to do, I'm going to do the one that has the less recourse. I want my credit to look good now. I'm not waiting 3 to 5 years. I ain't even promised to be alive that long. Okay, so you can make that determination if that's what you want to choose to do. But I'm telling you, when you weigh the pros and cons of bankruptcy versus debt consolidation, bankruptcy going to win every time. When it comes to doing a HELOC, and a HELOC, that is for individuals who have equity in their homes. They want to borrow money from the equity in their homes to consolidate their bills to pay them back. I personally would say it depends on your financial situation and your credit, because if you are able to get a HELOC, you are also able to file bankruptcy and stay away from getting the second mortgage, which is what's going to happen when you get a HELOC. You're going to get a second mortgage on that house. And what's probably going to happen 9 out of 10 times is you are consolidating debt only to get back into more debt, because you need credit. I don't care what nobody says. You need credit. Now, whether you use it is up to you. But try and go rent a rental car and tell me you don't need a credit card. I will wait. Okay? So you need credit. So what we need to be doing, guys, is finding the best way to protect the credit that we do have, because your finances is going to come and go anyway. It's always been that way. Okay? Most people live check to check anyhow. But your credit is what will give you the opportunity to get more money, to get a better job, to get access to a lot of things that bad credit won't get you. So if I were you, almost girl, we could talk about it. We'll have to look at your whole picture, which is why I like to look at people's credit, because it helps me see what you really got going on, because it may be stuff you forgot, but your credit did not. HELOC, I would do my best to stay away from getting a HELOC for debt consolidation. If you're going to get a HELOC to turn around and reinvest into either more property or to fix up the home you have, because you're going to use it to get you some income, okay? And if you're going to use your HELOC to use it for an investment, don't tell the bank, because they're not going to give you a loan. They don't want you to use the equity from your house to purchase another house. So you can't tell them that, okay? You got to tell them you're doing it for debt consolidation or to fix up the home you already have, okay? I didn't make these rules up. This is what they say. I am a loan signing agent, and I know from looking at the paperwork, it asks you, what are you getting this money for? And please don't tell them you're getting it to do anything else, okay? Niggity great, you're not screwed. So you got to get the okay, so we got to get the personal fixed. Let me let y'all know, sometimes the personal can be fixed quickly depending on what it is, okay? So again, hit me up on the website, shamikasaves.com. We can talk about it. Because, well, I don't like to do generalities. Everybody's credit situation is not the same. Everybody's financial situation is not the same. Rachel says, I just received notice that my loans have been forgiven in full on the suite. Woo, woo, versus Cardona. You changed my life. Congratulations. Congratulations, Rachel. These are the kind of testimonies that I like to hear, okay? We've been talking about Sweet versus Cardona lawsuit for over 2 years. This thing has been out for at least 3 to 4 years now, and some of y'all still have not done your application. Some of y'all are still waiting, which I'm happy. That means you're in the process. But first, y'all need to see if your school is on the list, and if it is, please stop waiting. Okay, y'all see they blocking everything the Biden administration is trying to do. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to get our stuff processed, if possible, hell, before this election passes, okay? Because we just don't know what's going to happen, all right? Hey, Carla. She says, do we wait until you paid your, it says, do we wait until you can't pay your bills anymore before? Absolutely not, okay? Somebody asked me that before, and I told them when I filed bankruptcy, I was not behind on one bill. I had a 700 plus credit score. I filed bankruptcy because it made sense. That is what proper planning does, okay? Now, the bankruptcy court will probably tell you not to plan. Why? Because they want you to be on your ass when you go to file bankruptcy, so that, one, you stressed out, you can't think straight. Two, you're going to pay a lawyer for something that y'all can do on your own, okay? And you are distraught. Okay, that's exactly how they want you, bent over a barrel before you go and file bankruptcy. But there's nowhere, anywhere that it says you have to be in debt or behind, not debt, behind in your bills. All you have to do is have $10,000 in debt. Some of y'all got a car and y'all got $10,000 still left on your vehicle, okay? So don't tell me you don't have none. I don't went on people's credit and they go, I don't have that. You don't? And then I scroll down to the bottom of the credit report and I look at collections. Yeah, you do. Absolutely. And for some of y'all who got this chip on your shoulder, who think you're too good to file bankruptcy, need to watch my video, have a conversation. Let's debate. It don't matter. I already know that if you're in a certain situation, you're going to need to do it. A lot of people are, okay? And it ain't no shame. I had somebody come to me the other day, said, I want to buy a house next year. Please look at my credit and tell me what I need to do. And I did. And I looked. And this female had $60,000 in debt, not including student loans, not including a car. This is just debt from unpaid bills, unpaid loans, collections, medical bills, the whole nine. And you know what I told her? Cancel moving. You either need to find you a new place to stay now, or extend the lease, because you will not be buying a house next year with that amount of money sitting out there. Because one, 60 grand unpaid, nobody's going to give you a loan. Even if it was 60,000 in revolving debt and it wasn't unpaid, that she still had to pay, that's $60,000 taken off of a house that she could buy. I don't want a house for 210 when I can get a house for 270. Okay, so some of y'all need to be put these things in perspective and really look at your situation. All of y'all want a house, but all of y'all are not ready. All of y'all are not prepared, nor are you educated, which is why, and this is going to lead me to what I was going to talk about today anyway, is that builders are now coming out and they are building rental home communities. So these people already know y'all cannot afford a house. They know your credit's not going to be right. So what are they doing? They are making or building homes that you can rent. And it's a community of nothing but rentals. Not even, so they playing in your faces is what they're doing. Because if you can afford the rent today, you can also afford the mortgage. But a lot of you are not ready and you're not realistic. Y'all are not counting. And I told y'all, I just did a bankruptcy with a lady. We did $111,000. And you know what? The reason why she had to file, she wasn't behind on anything either. She filed because nobody told her that on her second year is when the property taxes kick in. She didn't know her property taxes were going to be as high as they were. And now homegirl can't make her car payments. No judgment. It happens. If nobody's educating you and you don't know these things, you just don't know. But what you need to figure out is how you going to get out of your situation. That's the most important piece. Okay. So I know, Carla, I took a long way to answer your question, but no, you do not have to be where you cannot pay your bills to file bankruptcy. You can just wake up, I want to file. And that's all you got to do. It don't take much thought. It takes planning. And that's the most important piece. Okay. All right. So let me see what y'all saying. Because I just been running my mouth. Okay. So it says, I'm trying to talk mother-in-law to file bankruptcy. She keeps asking for $1,200 each month. I'm telling you, hey, ain't nobody got time to be paying all these. Look, somebody got mad and said to me, you don't have any integrity if you file bankruptcy. And I said, well, thank you for your opinion. But here is what I'm not going to do. What I'm not going to do is sit here in life that's already hard, okay, and struggle and stress, can't sleep because my bills are more than I make, okay? Now, granted, y'all, people could say, well, you're irresponsible. You should have known better. You're damn right I should have, but I didn't. And I'm not worried about what I can't fix. What I am worried about is what I can fix. And what I can fix is my financial situation by taking a look and seeing if bankruptcy is going to work for me. It may not work for you, but it's going to work for 97% of the people that I know and that you know too. Okay, Carla says, headed to the website, need a consultation. You don't even got to book me on the website, Carla. You know you can just text me, okay? Thank you, Quintisha. S. Davis says, what happens to the mortgage and student loans with bankruptcy? So I told y'all, and I'm going to continue to tell y'all, y'all can't throw y'all student loans into bankruptcy. But here's where y'all usually come at me because y'all get excited about that. If you cannot demonstrate to the court that paying your student loans is going to be a struggle, they're going to laugh you right up out of there. So basically what's going to happen if you can't demonstrate that it's a struggle to pay them, the same student loans you came into the bankruptcy with, when the bankruptcy is over, they're still going to be there for you to pay them. But get this, we are in forbearance, guys, and y'all are probably going to be in forbearance for at least, let me see, what's the month? You're going to, and this is me talking, anywhere upwards to 6 months, you're going to be in this forbearance. They are probably not going to hit y'all with no payments until the end of the year, starting off January. Why? We're in election season. 2, we got to let the new president get their feet wet before they start throwing stuff at us, before we hate that person. And then boom, it's going to be the new year. So a lot of y'all can go into bankruptcy and discharge y'all debts and not even have to worry about your student loan payments until next year anyway. And a lot of y'all will be able to make those payments when it's time because you don't have Care Credit. You don't have First Premier, MasterCard, Visa Card, Discover, USAA, Navy Federal. Should I keep going? You ain't going to have these people to pay no more. Okay. Now, what happens to your mortgage? You will keep your home if you want to keep it. Most of y'all ain't buy a house to let it go. I know I didn't. So I'm going to tell you right now, if I get to the point where I can't pay my mortgage and it gets too far out and they start coming at me and saying we're going to foreclose, I just sit back like this, like an old lady on a rocket chair. You know why? Because I know that I have until the day you put my house on auction. Now, I don't do the auction block where people come out. They auction online. I have until the day my house goes up online to file for bankruptcy, and they can't take my house. Now, tell that to somebody who y'all know is facing a foreclosure and let them know they do not have to be evicted and or foreclosed upon because they can file bankruptcy and completely stop the process, which is what I told y'all at the top of the hour, which is called an automatic stay. Okay? So yes, you can keep your house. Now, if you got a car and you don't want it, you can turn it in. You want to keep your car? Keep it. It's up to you. Bankruptcy is way more flexible than a lot of y'all think. It's the reason that y'all don't like it is because y'all hear the word bankrupt and y'all think bankrupt means broke. Bankrupt doesn't mean broke. That's what I want to get over to y'all. All bankrupt means, now let's put it in perspective. It is called bankruptcy protection. It is not just called bankruptcy. It is called bankruptcy protection. Y'all forgetting about the protection part. What are they protecting me from, Shamika? I'm going to tell you. They're protecting you from creditors coming and taking your stuff. So when you file bankruptcy, I don't look at it as I'm going broke. I look at bankruptcy as a fence. It is me on one side, my creditors on the other side. And you can't cross this line because Uncle Sam, my uncle, y'all uncle too, said you can't. Bankruptcy protection is what it's called, okay? This is why rich people do it. This is why these restaurants and stores that we still go in, knowing they're going out of business, still going in them. I remember I would go, don't let me find a Payless shoe store. Now, they're not going out of business now, but Payless, when they filed bankruptcy, I was in there like with no tomorrow, okay? So just so y'all know, these same places that y'all give y'all money to are doing the same thing y'all should be doing. And you can keep some of your money in your own pocket, okay? Let me move on. Let me see what else y'all saying. It says, when you file bankruptcy, do you have to pay off all of your credit cards first? Absolutely not. The whole point of filing bankruptcy is so that you don't have to pay your debts, because right now you cannot. Whether you lost your job, whether, like the lady I told y'all about, her property taxes kicked in, she can't afford to pay this, and now her mortgage going up another $1,000. That's about 8 bills, depending on how much your bills are. So no, when you file bankruptcy, hopefully your credit cards are to their damn limit. And I know banks ain't gonna want to hear it, but I'm gonna tell you, and this depends, if I file a Chapter 7, I'm not paying nothing back. You don't pay $1 back. So if I'm going to file bankruptcy, I'm gonna make sure that I'm going into bankruptcy. I'm going in 110% in debt, not 100%. I need 110%. Some of y'all are y'all be in y'all feelings about this. It's just crazy. That's what it's here for, to protect you. So not only if I got $1,000 worth of bills, I'm filing bankruptcy for $1,100 because I'm probably going to have some late fees in there. I'm going to have some over the limit fees. If I'm going to do it, if I'm going to do bankruptcy, believe me, I want all my debts wiped out. So that's why I tell you, you file a bankruptcy, you better look up how many banks you didn't pay, who loaned money to you that you can't pay back. Look up that courthouse. Find that old eviction that's on there. Put that in your bankruptcy. Anybody else that done sued you, put that in your bankruptcy. That's a lot of y'all missed out on those things. I had a girl, she had to file bankruptcy just to get her driver's license back. So some of y'all sleeping. Y'all sleeping on the plug, okay? Thank you very much, Agent Gaines. Hey, Susie. All right, it says, my car was total, insurance company paid, majority of my car was still owe $8K. Well, honey, do you know how many people come and file bankruptcy with me? because they can't pay for the lack of gap insurance. Half the time when y'all bought a car, nobody even told y'all what gap insurance was for. Y'all just didn't want it because it costs more. But when you get in a car accident and now you can't pay the rest of the car, now they want you to go and pay a car that you can't drive. I don't know what world that is, but I ain't doing it. Okay. And if I do it, because if I file bankruptcy, I have to file a Chapter 13. That means I will have to pay some, but I'm going to give you the difference. So if Mariah Lynn were to file bankruptcy right now on that $8,000 and she doesn't own anything else, no, she don't own a house, she don't make a whole lot of money at a job, she can go and tell Uncle Sam, I can't pay the $8,000. That $8,000 is gone. Plus any of the other debts you have. Okay. Now, if I were to do the same thing because I own things, I would have to do a Chapter 13. But I'm going to tell you how much of that $8,000 I would be paying. 20%. So out of that $8,000, I'm paying $1,600 back to the bank. Who is winning, me or them? See, that's how y'all have to look at it. The bank is winning on y'all. They're playing in your faces. They're telling you can't go pull your money out the bank. Y'all saw the stock market last week. I couldn't come on here and talk about it. The stock market went to crap. People lost all kind of money. But y'all around here crying and struggling, trying to pay for stuff that you don't even got no money to pay for. And in Mariah's case, a car you can't even drive. Mariah, holla at me, girl, because if you want to get rid of it and you don't want to pay that $8,000, you don't have to, okay? It's called bankruptcy protection. I don't have it. Uncle Sam, I don't have the $8,000. I'm trying to get me another car. How can I get a car when I'm still paying on one I don't drive? We're not doing that. Okay, this is why I talk to y'all about these things. And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to hear probably anybody, probably not even an attorney that's going to tell you these things. Why? Because they don't want to be looked at bad. I don't care how I'm being looked at. What I want to have is peace of mind. That's what a lot of y'all are not getting because you're stressing. And I'm trying to help you. It says, Mariah says she just got a letter stating they will accept 4. You want to pay them $4,000? I don't have no problem with that. I don't think anything is wrong if you want to repay your debts. There's nothing that says that you couldn't. The Bible likes you to repay your debts, but we also need to be smart, and we also need to utilize the tools that they give us to help us. Y'all always crying about ain't nobody doing it. The government ain't doing it. The government got a lot of stuff. You just have to know where to go and find it and apply it to your situation so that you are not out here struggling, okay? We be mad at the banks getting bailouts. We be mad at these businesses getting bailouts. Well, here is your bailout. It is called bankruptcy. The same bailout that they are using, you guys can too, okay? It says, have you heard of class action lawsuit against the Google web browser? Yes. Google does have a real class action, classaction.org is where I tell you to go. Absolutely. Put in for that one already. The Google lawsuit is old. So if you can get in and still find a place where you can apply, please do so. Okay. Carla says, I owe my brother $44,000 a personal loan. Can I put that in the bankruptcy? Carla, yes, you can, girl. And let me tell you something. Now, if my ex-husband was watching, he would be very mad. But I don't give 1 or 2 dams. But let me tell you how this works with bankruptcy when somebody owes you. Now, Carla, I know Carla personally, so I'm going to speak to her situation. She would more than likely have to file a Chapter 13. If she filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, that $44,000 that she pays her brother, poof, it gone. Okay? Now, if you file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, that same $44,000, here's what's going to happen, Carla. You're going to have to put your brother's address down, and the court is going to have to mail him a letter saying, hey, Carla filed bankruptcy for $44,000. You can put in a claim to get a portion of the money that she's going to make payments to the court with, and you have to do it in 6 months. Now, if your brother doesn't reply in 6 months, then guess what happens to that $44,000? If he replies, then just like I told you, 20% of that $44,000 will go to him. And how it's going to happen is over the course of your bankruptcy, because I know your situation, you will probably be in a 5-year bankruptcy. Over the 5 years, every month your brother will get a check. Now, If your brother is irresponsible and don't check that mail, or he don't know how to respond to the court, well, thanks, bro. I ain't paying you back. Okay. Now, that is exactly what happened with me and my ex-husband. Ain't no shame. It's public if you have access to see it. But he did not respond. It wasn't my fault. I mailed it to the correct address. He did not respond. So when he actually found the letter, he tried to see if he could get some money. And the courts were like, nah, you took too long. So again, if you owe people and you don't have the money, not just your creditors, family members and friends too, okay? You're welcome. There's another way, okay? All right, let me see what you're saying. Yes, thank you, Trash Girl. I appreciate that. All right, let me see what y'all saying. How do I file for the DMV? If you file for the DMV, all you're gonna have to do is you need to go to your local courthouse. If you're trying to get your driver's license back. Now, let me explain something real quick. If it's a criminal charge, bankruptcy does not get involved with criminal stuff. Okay, what has to happen is the criminal has to turn into civil. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, say you're in, and this is a true story because I don't deal with so many of y'all. I had a girl, she was in a car accident, she hurt someone. It was a criminal offense, right? She didn't pay. So what happened was they ended up taking that charge, that fee that she had, and they sold it to a debt collector because people want their money, so they're gonna come after you. Once a debt collector sues you, that debt now becomes civil. Same with what they are planning to do. They're saying with child support. So let's just say child support. So child support is right now owned by the federal government. But what the federal government is planning on doing is selling your child support debts to debt collectors so they can collect the money. But if they do that, that becomes a civil lawsuit. All civil lawsuits can be included in bankruptcy. So once they do that, or if that's what they do decide to do, a lot of people ain't gonna be paying their child support back because they're just gonna discharge it in bankruptcy, which is probably why I would hope they would never do it, because that's how a lot of people gonna get off. Same thing. So if you have something with DMV and it's not criminal, it's civil, all you gotta do is pull up your record from the courthouse, just like I did with this one lady. She had 100. Okay, this was going over 20 years. She had like 100 different things that I had to go back years and years and years and years. And we put all of it in that bankruptcy. Even though these people weren't coming after her no more, we wanted to make sure they never did. So we threw every single one of them in. And that is how you would do it. Okay, thank you. That's right. Trash Girl said, y'all tap the screen and give me some love. I appreciate that. Y'all know I ain't got nothing to do, so I can sit on here a little longer with y'all. So if y'all got any questions, y'all can definitely ask. Normally, I am off at 8 o'clock. But again, your girl is bored. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Nikki the Great. Nikki the Great says she is scheduling her consultation on Friday. I'm telling you, I appreciate that. You will not be disappointed. I definitely am coming with a lot of gems. Okay? Thank you, Jody. Jody says I'm giving a lot of gems tonight. I appreciate that. It says 3 years ago, can you file again? If you file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you cannot file again for 7 years. If you file a Chapter 13, though, you can file in 2. Okay? So this is the part I want y'all to get. Now get this. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy is for people who don't own nothing. You just got debt. You ain't got no car. I mean, you got a car. You don't got no house. You don't make no lot of money. Look how long they make you wait before you can refile. But look at the people who have stuff. Oh, you get 2 years and you can file again. You know why? Because they know the chances of you falling right back into debt is very high. And they're not doing it for us. They're doing it for their rich ass friends. That is exactly why if you have stuff, there's way more opportunity to do things to make your life a lot easier, which is why I come and I do try to talk to y'all about other stuff, but we end up talking about bankruptcy the most because debt is huge. That's what a lot of people are struggling with right now. And you're probably not going to find anybody else online that's going to talk to you about it the way that I am and telling you ways you can get out of a lot of your situations just by being educated about what bankruptcy can do for you, period. So yes, if you have a Chapter 13, baby, you can file every 2 years. That's it. I mean, especially if it's discharged, they will work with you. Why? because the bank don't want all that stuff back. They done gave it to you. They are trying to find ways to help you keep it. But if you don't want to know the ways, they just gonna come take it. Okay. But you definitely need to be informed on what you can and cannot do. All right. It says, how does it apply to a business? If you have a business, okay, majority of you have businesses, you have debts in your business. You do not have to file your business with your personal if you don't want to. You can if you choose. Let me give you an example. I have an SBA loan, EIDL loan, right? I made a video on my YouTube. I told you guys, if y'all are struggling and you can't pay it, and you are also in a financial situation on the personal side, take that business loan debt and put it into your personal bankruptcy, because most business debts have a personal liability, meaning if you don't pay them on the business side, they were going to come after you on the personal side anyway. So before you even get behind, going on to take that business debt and throw it into your personal. Yes, you can do that. People don't know that, but you can. You could do that with a Chapter 7, or you could do that with a Chapter 13. Now, if you got a big thriving business, you're doing great, you're making lots of money, you might want to file a Chapter 11, which is a business bankruptcy. Me personally, just and it depends on finances, but for the majority of the people I talk to, you're going to find that it's better to throw your business debts in your personal bankruptcy and be done that way. Yolanda says, I still have creditors following on my creditors report saying I owe them money right now. Well, if they're still following on your credit report, then you stand a strong chance of them also coming after you to sue. See, that's what people ain't talking about. Right now, y'all might just owe. And right now, you just may have late payments. But y'all are not thinking about your statute of limitations. If you live in Louisiana, they can come after you for 6 years. Florida, 5 years. Some states, 3 years. Some states, 4 years. The majority is 7. The minimum is 3. So you even need to find out what state you live in to see how long people can come after you to sue, because what a lot of creditors are doing is they are waiting until the statute of limitations is up and they know you forgot about this debt, and then they're going to hit you with a lawsuit. And then you run into me saying, Harry, I need to file bankruptcy because now they're taking money out of my check. You knew you owed them before. You just didn't think they were going to come after you. But I'm letting you know, if everybody don't pay their bills, then all of the banks are going to come after everybody who doesn't. So for those of you who didn't or can't, y'all need to find a way to get that protection, that bankruptcy protection I'm telling y'all about, to get it now, because you don't pay it, they're going to sue you and they're going to take your money. Just like a bunch of y'all who calling me now. Hey, they taking a lot of money out of my check. I say, hey, did you go to court? I ain't know nothing about court. You don't go to court, they win. They're going to take money out your check, hands down, okay? So if you want to fix that, Yolanda, we can. You got to holler. Says, what do you think about rental homes? Any advice? So I'm glad you brought that up. I was actually that was one of the topics I was going to talk about today, right? Before we got started on this bankruptcy. I personally am going to say, I don't believe in rent to own homes. I do believe in renting homes. Rent to own homes, I'm not crazy about, because if your credit ain't right by a certain amount of time, you lose all the money you paid, especially with these homes that are now letting you get in. You stay in them for 2 years. And then if your credit is right after 2 years, now they'll finance you and sell you the house. But what if your credit ain't right? Now you got to move out of that house, because a lot of you sign a lease to stay there for a certain amount of time. And if your credit ain't right, you got to go. So I don't believe in rent to own homes. If you are not ready to own a home, then rent. Rent to own don't go together in my book, because a lot of y'all fall for the hoo-ha, and they playing with you in your face saying, oh yeah, don't worry, you got 2 years to get this together, and you never get it together, and now you're stuck. So I don't believe in rent to own. You own when it's time, you rent until it's time. Now, what I was saying about the builders coming out and making rental communities only, I don't think anything is wrong if you want to continue to rent and never own a home, because some of y'all are not counting up the cost. Okay, y'all want to own a home because y'all see people have a home. And yes, I think it's great to raise children in homes versus apartments, right? But don't get a home when you can't afford a home. You need to be prepared for the property taxes. You need to be prepared for when things break, because you can't call a maintenance man. Okay, things in a home ain't cheap. Okay, and groceries have gone up, that means services have gone up too. So let your AC break down and call somebody. And especially if you're a female and you don't know nothing about it, they gonna try to charge you out the yin yang. So and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I would rather rent than own, especially right now. The ACs keep going out. It's too hot outside. I'm not trying to pay for this stuff out of my own pocket. I hate when things break and you're a homeowner, because now I got to pay for it. So if you can't afford it, rent. And there is nothing wrong with renting. Rent a home if you want to. At least your landlord has to fix the things and you don't. Okay. Miss you too, whoever PC is. Okay. I don't know. I'm gotta watch. All right. Indian Reed says, I have an 800 credit score. Where should or can I get a startup loan with a personal guarantor? If you want a personal guarantor and you have an 800 credit score, I would tell you to go to the bank and try to get a line of credit. That is going to be probably the easiest thing for you to do. This is try to see if you can get a line of credit for a startup loan. I don't know if I would tell them I want a startup loan. I would just tell them I want a personal loan. Businesses can be risky, and a lot of banks don't want to give people money to start a business because businesses fail. Very high percentage of it failing. So you go and get a loan. Boom, credit, line of credit. You don't even got to say all what you finna do with it, okay? And if you do say you finna do something with it, it is to improve something you already have or to pay off debts that you may have, okay? You want them to think that you're going to stick around and they're going to be able to get money out of you versus you putting your money into a business and the business goes bust and now they get nothing back. So be mindful of what you say. But I definitely would just go to the bank and see if you can get a line of credit. That's going to be probably the easiest for you. Or if you want to, with an 800 credit score, get credit cards and just take cash advances, but do it the way I said with the invoice ASAP so that you are not getting charged at high interest rate. Okay. Thank you, Trash Girl. I appreciate that. It says, do I have to pay my deceased husband's credit card bills if my name is not on them? No. But does your husband have an estate? Does he own anything? Because if a person dies in debt and they own stuff, a creditor has the right to go to the court and say, I know this person is deceased, but I'm going to need my money. Okay. So if your name is not on anything, if his debts are not showing up on your credit report, you are not responsible for them. But if he has an estate, okay, if he has, and I'm not talking about life insurance money, just say he got money coming to him. He got money in the bank, or he has money sitting around that he, from whatever. If a creditor finds out about it, they can absolutely go to the court and challenge the estate to get the money to pay back the bills. So hopefully, ma'am, I'm sorry your husband passed. Hopefully all the money that he has, you have, and there's nothing out there in his name anymore. So there's nothing anybody can get. Okay. I hate to have to play these games with these people, but they will take your money in an instant and don't care about you. So I don't know why you caring about them. So take that money on and put it somewhere and put it in your name where they cannot get it. Okay. All right, let me see. Thank you, Trash Girl. I appreciate that. Let me see. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? So I know we want to talk about we talked about student loans. I was talking about the rent-to-own home. Oh, last thing, and I promise, I just want y'all to take a look. I know I've been telling y'all about this, and I'm going to keep telling y'all about this for years. Invoice ASAP Indian Reese is an app on your phone. So if you need to make a fake invoice or you need to bill yourself so that you can charge your own credit card instead of getting a cash advance, you can do it through that app. Invoice ASAP. Okay, moving on real quick and then we'll be done. What I did want to talk to y'all about is because I know they're not talking about these things. Now, y'all know I always be talking about our civil rights, okay? And the things that we have are going away. And I told y'all need to educate yourselves on the social credit score. People may not have ever heard of it. You may not think it's a real thing because we don't necessarily use that word here in the United States. But all of these other countries are starting to catch on. Okay, Australia just made a thing that says, and well, my phone died, so I can't pull it up. But basically, if your credit score isn't high enough, you are not going to be able to purchase things. Didn't I tell y'all this a year or so ago that this is exactly what they're going to start? Now, I know y'all probably don't believe it is coming that way. Now, you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe what the Bible says. You don't have to. But it's the countries are showing. Right now, China is really heavy in the social credit score. If your their credit scores go from 300 to 950, ours go from 350 to 850. If you are below fives over in China, you can't do nothing. They put your picture up everywhere to let everybody know you have bad behavior, because usually if you have a low social credit score, it's not just based on your credit, it's based on lots of things. Jaywalking, people reporting you talking loud, you getting into an argument with this person. And see, we in the United States may not necessarily call it that, but you are definitely judged on everything you do. Look at your social media. They just said, in what country was this? Okay, so they banned, y'all know they banned Pornhub. I'm not saying y'all watch it, but Pornhub was only banned in like one state. It's done blew up to 13 states now. So you can go to these sites, but now you got to give your information. People ain't trying to do all that. So if they're doing that slowly, y'all see these things happening in the background, y'all not even paying attention. Okay, they are now making it. Did y'all see what state it was? Oh God, I hate that I snapped it on my phone. I'm gonna try to put it on my. As a matter of fact, I should just make a TikTok video. But they are making it where you are going to have to, and I can't remember if this is United States, but it has to do with TikTok and your social media. You are going to have to give the government the right to have access to your TikTok, because you're going to have to give them something to be able to have to access it. I hate that I can't see it right now, or what I don't know if it's Australia. I forgot what country it is. It might be here. But you guys need to stop looking at all the fluff that they're throwing on TV with this election and with all these reality shows, and start looking at how they are slowly infringing on the things that you like. And in order for you to continue to do the things that you like, you're going to have to act a certain way. You're going to have a credit score that's going to have to be acceptable in order for these things for you to continue to have access to these things. Okay. And this is not something they're going to talk about loud, because if they do, people are going to have a fit. Okay, I can't even tell y'all to get mad and go protest at your local congressman's office, because if I do, they're going to come to my door and they're going to charge me with a felony for saying that I'm inciting a riot. And if you don't believe me, that was just passed under the Biden administration this year. So I can't even tell y'all to go and do things or to get mad about it, because if they do, they're going to come after me. So I'm not going to tell you to get mad. I'm going to tell you to educate yourselves, and y'all need to start looking and reading. Look up the social credit score. If you don't believe me, just go to Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and just type in social credit score and just look at all the stuff. It's coming slowly. They ain't going to call it that here, but it's coming, and y'all need to be aware so that you know what to do, so that you are already ahead of the game. That way, you know if you need to cut your social media off, you know if you need to move to another state. I hate to say it like that, but we're going to have to do things in order to keep our rights the way that we want to. And fighting back and ain't going to be one of them, because they just going to put you in jail. Okay? So I swear that was all I had to run down for y'all today. Let me see if y'all ask me anything. Ponytail Girl says, filing bankruptcy. Do they ask about your 401k? I want to file bankruptcy, but have money in my 401k. Yes, they're going to ask you money about your 401k, but that's your retirement, sis. If you got money in the 401k, they're not touching that. That's yours. Because let me tell you why. Why would the bankruptcy court get in the middle of you and the bank? Your money in your 401k is basically in the stock market. They are not going to get in the way of it, because if they do, it will crash. So they ain't touching your 401k. Your 401k is safe. You want to keep your house is safe. You want to keep your car is safe. Now, what I will tell you is, don't have 401k money sitting in your savings account and tell these people you ain't got no money to pay your bills. Now, I'm not telling you to move the money anywhere. I'm not telling you to move your money anywhere. All I'm saying is they're going to look. Okay? They definitely going to have some questions. But your 401k, you're fine. A PC said, what's the best way for my friend to get custody of her niece? She has been living with her for years. Father never been involved, and mother and sister has not helped in years, and and she's in the streets. Well, if she's in the streets, the easiest way for somebody to get custody of somebody is just to have them sign the paperwork over, and giving them the right. If you can't do that, then you can always do an emergency temporary custody where you can just basically get the courts involved, where they can make a decision quickly for the safety of the child, because there's nobody around. And then from there, you continue on working to get the custody. You can do it. You definitely can do an emergency order. That's for sure. I had someone that died. They had young kids. They needed somebody to take care of them kids immediately. We were able to do an emergency temporary custody order, basically overnight. Okay. So if you want to, that's one way you can get in there quickly, and then you continue doing the process from there. But if the family is willing to just sign the paperwork and say you can have her, boom, do it that way. What I would say to do is tell them, let's sign the child over, but we will let you claim the baby on next year's taxes. I promise they'll do it, because as long as they know they're finna get that money, they'll sign that child over. All right, let me see if y'all ask me anything else before I go. Let's see. It says, how can I follow you on all platforms? You can follow me on all platforms under the same name, Shamika Saves, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. The only two I really care about, honestly, is my YouTube and my TikTok account. Those are my biggest ones, because those are the ones that I'm usually on the most. I am on Facebook as well. I don't do lives on there that often. I just do them here and YouTube. Why? Because, well, we got to go where the money is, right? Okay. And it says, what if you have a car note and you still have the vehicle and want to keep the vehicle? Then it's yours, baby. If you want to keep the vehicle, you have a car note, fine. The only thing that's going to happen in bankruptcy is they're going to tell you can't make your payment while you're in. But will you have a late car payment? Nope, because that's required. So you will find that when you go into bankruptcy, when you go to make your payment on the first of the month, it's going to say you ain't even going to be able to access the system, because it's going to show that you're in bankruptcy. So what's going to happen is nothing. You're just going to sit back and you're going to wait for the car company to reach out to you to tell you that they have been released from your bankruptcy because you chose to keep the car. And then once you choose to keep the car, the car company is going to say, hey, courts, she keeping the car, so we don't need to be in this bankruptcy. Boom. As soon as the court releases them, your website will open up and you can continue making your payments. That's simple. I've even seen people get their interest rate lower from what they had before because the bank don't want the car back. So wonderful things can come out of filing bankruptcy, y'all. Okay, it can. Let's see. Can you file Chapter 7 bankrupt without attorney? Absolutely, you can. You can do your own paperwork if you choose. I am what they call a bankruptcy petition preparer. All I do is send you a list of things that I need to do your paperwork. I do your paperwork. I send it to you. You turn that thing into the court. That is it. Once you turn it into the court, you're going to wait for your mail to tell you the date that you have to be on Zoom. I'm telling y'all, this is the easiest time to file bankruptcy because there's no court. Okay, you're on the phone. I'm on the computer talking to these people. You're using your phone on Zoom, whatever you want to do. 10, 15 minutes, done. That's it. Okay. What can I do if a credit card company is trying to sue me, but I can't afford to pay? Well, if they are suing you, they either are suing you or they're not. So if they already have a lawyer and they've come after you, you are being sued. If they are threatening to sue you, then right now they're just running their mouth. Okay. Most credit card companies usually will sell your debt to a debt collector, and the debt collector usually sues. Most original creditors will not. For example, Navy Federal. Navy Federal barely sells your debt to a debt collector. If I look on your credit report and I see Navy Federal, I'm not going to see Navy Federal and then look and find a collection and it's going to be for Navy Federal. They don't sell. But also, Navy Federal doesn't really like to sue. They will, but they really don't like to, okay? Because they don't want to. It costs. They got to pay for a lawyer and all of that. But if they are coming after you to sue, then you have the option to call the attorney that is suing you to say, hey, I want to do a payment arrangement. That way you don't even have to go to court. But if you choose to file bankruptcy, you let them know, hey, I'm filing bankruptcy. And what's going to happen is they're going to tell you, send me the proof. As soon as you get your case number, send it to them. Guess what? You still don't have to go to court, okay? Or if your court date is coming up and you don't have enough time, go to court and just tell the judge your filing or that you're making a payment arrangement. Thank you so much, PC. I appreciate you for being here. Okay. All right. Let me see if y'all asking me anything else. Anything else? Okay. And then now y'all know y'all also can ask these questions to me in my inbox, shamikasaves.com. I'm about to go there when I leave because I do have a lot of unread messages from y'all. I'll be having to take a break sometime, y'all. But yes, but you can send me a message there. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Thank you, Almost Girl. I appreciate that. But if I missed anything, it doesn't matter because your girl got answers. And if I don't have an answer, I know where to lead you to get your answers. So thank y'all for liking my videos. There is no money right now. We ain't gonna see no money, honey. We are in election season. If there's money, it's so well hidden, they ain't talking about it. One quick thing, and I'm gonna let you go. If you are a veteran, I just want to put this out there. If you're a veteran, if you're receiving any kind of veterans benefits, October 1st, the VA is stating that they do not have enough money to make your October 1st payment. Okay. Please keep watch to see if you get anything in the mail. Y'all know if y'all get anything, send it to me so that I can report. But they are already putting this in the papers that they are telling Congress we don't have no money. We don't have enough money to pay these veterans. Come October 1st, we are behind because we've had to cut large checks to people. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen for sure, but I'm just putting it in your ear to let you know that they are saying that they may not have enough money to pay us for October 1st. Okay. So anything else y'all need, please hit your girl up. And like I said, if I don't know, I will get you an answer, but I'm sure I know. Okay. I'm sure I know. Love y'all. See you next Monday. My internet is back. I will be here every Monday. Again, check me out on YouTube for all my other videos. If you have questions, you want to do a consultation, you just want to talk, girl, you got financial problems, and we just need to sit there and talk about it, hit me up on shamikasaves.com so that we can continue. Okay? Love y'all. Be blessed and be encouraged. There is always a way. God will make a way out of no way, but there is always a way. All right? So talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good one. Bye. See y'all. And I want to hear from Carla, and I definitely want to hear from you. Miss Paula, I'm going to talk to you too. Okay? So y'all be good, and I'll talk to you soon.